But welcome everybody. Be sure to hit the like button. Be sure to hit the subscribe button.
I remember in middle school when you felt self-conscious if you were the last one to go through puberty. That really went topsy-turvy, didn't it?
Sometimes the Hasbara, it's too much explaining yourself and it's too apologetic.
Be sure to hit the notifications bell.
I actually do believe Israel won't just bomb countless civilians.
Be sure to tweet this out. Be sure to put this up on your Facebook.
You have to be kind to people. Be kind to the guys in this mess in the first place.
Put this up on your Reddit.
Chile is a country.
Be sure to cut and paste, cut and paste a link to this to go into your favorite Facebook chat group.
It's good to see so many normal people in here.
Now, spanking isn't just my deep, dark personal secret. It's America's deep, dark secret.
I've never seen it explained so simply anywhere.
Put this on WhatsApp. Put this on Telegram. Put this on your favorite messenger app.
Hello, and welcome to the Untitled Anarchist Seagull channel. I'm your host, an Untitled Anarchist Seagull called Elise. And this is the home of the Last JabroniCon. Yesterday, we were looking at Xander Hole, who we hadn't seen in a while, hitching his wagon to the supernova-ing genocidal Zionist star of Ethan Klein, which was just so on brand for him. And today I was thinking we might check out something different. River Rune had suggested something, and River Rune's suggestions have been quite good. And no, that wasn't what I was trying to do. There we go. That is a bit more what I was trying to do. My mouse is being a little bit jerky. How's everybody doing while I get myself arranged here? I'm kind of curious about this Content Cop from Idubbz, who I've never heard of. I mean, the name sounds like a cute way of saying, like, industrial workers of the world. I don't know if that's the case. Not actually sure. Actually, let me see. I may have something in the Discord that... Yeah, let me see. Okay, I'd asked Riveroon for some details. He was an edgy OG YouTuber who was famous, infamous for his harsh reactionary criticism of others on the platform, while using a lot of profanity and slurs. Lovely. He took a long break, became some kind of leftist, I think. He had a viral apology video some months ago for his unethical past content and says he has grown up. A lot of online chuds say he went woke because of this. He considered Ethan a friend of his and brought the Content Cop character out of retirement to try to pull Ethan out of his crash out. Okay, interesting. I guess we're about to find out what all this is. Do say hello to the squirrel, River.
Destination, the beach. Is surprisingly dangerous. Consider the fucking thing in our defense, like, actually, Hila's not a baby killer. Actually, accusing Ethan of killing his dog is maybe too far, because they have mobilized such an insane harassment group that anybody who says any fucking thing, they will attempt to ruin their lives. And once again, I'm the crazy one. It's not bad enough that I have this group.
What we do here is go back.
Okay. I have to say, liking the pageantry. He brings a very male stripper from a horror movie vibe to the cop uniform, I have to say. Hogwarts Legacy just came to Piss Plus. There were people saying that if not for the controversy for this dastardly trans activist, this game would have got Game of the Year. Everything I had heard said the game was actually shit, quite apart from the fact that it sends money to Rowling. Yeah, everything I heard was that it was actually just a rubbish game because apparently all the good devs in the industry boycotted it because of Rowling. I mean, I like a high-effort introduction here. I know fucking Xanderhole was really annoyed by the fact that some people actually do production values. But I like production values, and so far, okay. Let's see where this is going.
What's up, everybody? I'm Hassan Piker, and this is Awesome Broadcast coming to you live from a cloudy day here in California, Los Angeles. We're live and alive, and I hope all the boys, girls, and MBs are having a fantastic.
That's how big California is. It's not. Los Angeles is not in California. California is in Los Angeles. That's just how much sprawl there is now.
This is a beautiful day. I have a very important announcement. I've finally done it. I watched Ethan Klein's Content Nuke. And I'm not going to call it Context Puke, as I normally do, because the reality of the matter is, it was brilliant. Nothing was out of context. Everything was correct. I
I saw a bit of this. I don't remember what I was watching, but I saw a bit of this. It was hilarious, because Ethan ended up walking shit back in real time when he was reacting to it.
Islamist, fundamentalist, radical terrorist, I am a vicious anti-Semite. It's true.
Yeah, I mean, this was one of the things that Ethan was like, oh, no, I never said that. I never said that.
Ethan is more attractive than me, both physically and also mentally. I've been lying about everything, including my glasses. They're fake. He was right about that. That's not even in the Content Nuke, and he was right about that, too. How did he know everything? How?
I have to say, I'm digging Hassan's hair in this.
Wake up, Ethan. Wake up, Ethan. Ethan, wake
up. Oh, I see. Oh, I see. I saw, like, clips of this that did not include this bit.
Wake, Ethan. Wake up, Ethan. Wake up. Time to be awake, Ethan. Wake up, Ethan. This is no longer a dream. This is a nightmare. Wake up. Ethan, the dumb bitch is telling you to wake up.
Okay, I have to say, I don't know what I don't know what to make of Idubbz yet, but I am actually quite enamored with these production values. This is a cool intro.
Wake up, Ethan. Wake up. Wake up, Ethan. Wake up. Wake up. Is there anything you want? Just wake up. Wake up. Wake up, Ethan.
Okay, love her eyeliner game.
Do a react content yet, chat.
It's so Bahamas. Okay, okay, this is great. Okay, I mean, I'm already digging this, let me just say. Well, the funny thing was, I was watching, like, the reaction, like, his reaction to this. Somebody else was reacting to his reaction to this. I don't remember who. It's a blur. There's so many, like, levels of meta in this whole fucking complex at this point. But, like, Ethan was actually responding and walking stuff he said back as he was watching this. Like, he's saying he never said that. Oh, no, I didn't mean that. Like, he was, I mean, including the bit where the bit about calling Hassan anti-Semitic, which now he said something like, oh, I don't know, I didn't mean that he was, that he really meant it, that he was doing it on purpose. I was just, yeah, I mean, he was totally walking things back watching this. It was actually quite hilarious. Hey, Raven G. Hey, Abdia.
All right.
I didn't plan on making...
I was finding out that the reason that was giving male stripper doing a cop thing is clearly that was meant to be, that was like a male stripper outfit that's designed to like pull off like that. Okay, that explains why I was getting that.
Content Cop on H3. It sounds very stupid even saying that. H3, Content Cop, Idubbz. Ethan Klein is out of control. And then you should do a Content Cop on Hassan Piker. Content Cop on Sargon of Akkad. If I would imagine this in 2016, I would have been like, oh yeah, if I ever do that, it's gotta be because I lose the plot.
I even like this shirt, actually. That's a cool shirt.
Well, it turns out it's not me losing the plot.
See, the thing about Ethan is, at this point, I'm fairly convinced he knows what he's talking about. He knows how fucked up what he's doing is, but he is just so fucking cowardly about it that that he doesn't like actually being called out on it. Like, he does not like, yeah, because, I mean, he does this thing where he calls himself a stalwart supporter of the Palestinian cause or whatever, and when people point out that actually he's doing all of the pro-Israel moves at the same time as he's saying that, I mean, it's just a cowardly position to take. I mean, as much as fucking disturbing as the gaping void that is Destiny is to watch, I actually have, like, marginally more respect for Destiny in this, in the sense that he is, at the very least, he owns it. He owns being an absolute fucking ghoul. Whereas Ethan wants to, like, do pro-genocide content at the same time as he knows that the respectable position, the position associated with decency, is to be pro-Palestinian. It's just deeply pathetic.
Ethan, he's the one who fucking attacked first. My good fucking friends who I stood by after all these fucking years can't find a spine.
Why has he got fucking Morton Salt there?
Speak up.
So go fuck yourself.
I agree.
Fun fact. Okay, so the unofficial Israeli national anthem is a song called Sheyisaref Lechem HaKvar, which means "May your village burn." It's wonderful. It's not at all a fucking, like, 4chan country. But it rhymes with "May your regime burn," which is Sheyisaref Lechem HaMishtar. Well, I mean, the fucked up thing about labor Zionism is labor Zionism was actually very much just channeling Strasser. Like, their whole thing was that they were going to postpone the class struggle indefinitely in favor of unity of the folk. And it's like, yeah, no, I mean, you're just stealing Nazi shit.
Alright guys, I'm going to tell you a story about Ethan Klein. I know some of you have been following him, but there's a lot of people who might not be familiar with the background, with his podcast, with what's been going on over the past...
Well, he's picked the most flattering pictures of this dude.
...couple of years. So Ethan, as you know, is a content creator who has a podcast where he says all sorts of outrageous stuff. Sometimes it's fun, sometimes it's fucked up. He's had shows with all sorts of different controversial characters. He's had a show with Trisha Paytas. He's had a show with Hassan Piker. In doing so, he's gathered a ton of different audiences. Now, in this podcast with Hassan, Leftovers, they would mostly talk about surface-level progressive shit and make fun of right-wingers.
And you're telling me he didn't flick their dick once at least?
Smell like under shavers, you trans women, I say, oh no!
And it was mostly that until they actually had to reckon with a very serious topic. I would say that Hassan was very well equipped to talk about that topic.
Palestinian people living in the West Bank are subjected to these horrific conditions, horrific living conditions by the state of Israel, America's greatest ally, and the only democracy in the Middle East, if you ask Republicans and even liberals.
Well, that's dancing.
I hope... I have not watched this. Like, that... I hope we get to see... I mean, Hassan was saying something about how when the stuff that Ethan had to say about what Israel was like when he was living there was the exact opposite of how he keeps on talking about how wonderfully diverse it is and everything. And I really hope somebody digs that shit up. I'm way too lazy to do that. I'm doing other research anyway. But I would just love to see the footage of him talking about how much it sucks.
Israeli settlers are trying to evict Palestinian families in occupied East Jerusalem. The United Nations says that may be a war crime. It literally is.
It's just eating the toppings out. The pizza looked like a burn victim. It was all disgusting.
I don't know if you can make that joke in 2021. Why? It's insensitive to burn.
I think it's a good enough. It's a powerful image.
It's a fucking horrifying image, actually.
Ethan was not prepared for this.
Whose Leafy is here? I have never heard of any of them.
Whole time.
Like, the only one out of these three, Idubbz, Hassan, and Ethan Klein that I had heard of more than 6 months ago was Hassan. Like, Ethan Klein, I only became aware that there was an Ethan Klein when there's somebody who sometimes shows up in chat from Portugal, I think, called Imperialism Bad. And they kept on saying, you gotta do Ethan Klein, you gotta do Ethan Klein. And I was like, who the fuck is Ethan Klein? And I have to say, I was happier not knowing.
Is more of the goof guy. And that's fine. You know, we don't expect Ethan to be an expert on the topic. Ethan was obviously caught in this tricky situation where...
Hello, Hogsnout. Hey, aka Warwick 3000, this is your first time here, isn't it? I feel like I haven't seen your name before, and if I'm right about that, welcome. Or is it Warwick? Are you pronouncing it properly, or are you pronouncing it North Americanly?
He is extremely sympathetic to the Israeli cause and what's happening to them.
And he hates to have people notice that.
Wife's Israeli, she's serving the IDF. He obviously likes the state of Israel. On the other hand, he's just got done capturing a massive progressive audience who are very politically savvy. They follow Hassan. Hassan is strictly a political streamer.
Yeah. And aside from that, I mean, this is a hell of a time to, like, decide to sort of come out as a fucking liberal Zionist pro-Israel streamer. It's like, you know, when this progressive audience of yours has spent 18 months watching, like, the Holocaust with smartphones.
So this is something they're very keyed into. So when they see Ethan say things that are just like not accurate and it's just propaganda, they're going to call it out.
From the river to the sea essentially means the state of Israel is going bye-bye.
I mean, So, I mean, like, lots of states go bye-bye. It's easier to list the ones that haven't gone bye-bye in the past fucking century than to list the ones that have, because states are constantly disappearing and appearing and stuff. I mean, East Germany went bye-bye. The Soviet Union went bye-bye. Like, that's a thing states do. They eventually kind of fall apart. Hogsnow, you were on, that's right, you've been there for the language stream. This is my other stream. This is a whole different energy, I think you'll find, because this is my anarcho-communist shitposting stream.
So this massive progressive audience that Ethan has, adopted over the years, they're becoming increasingly critical of his position because now he's talking about it. Not on Leftovers, he's now talking about it on his podcast.
And he's doing it in the middle of a fucking live stream genocide, which is a wild choice.
You guys, how I see it, because you don't see that when you listen to Hassan, you hear all these fucking like mega lefties talking about it, like it's some super racist, like crazy, like Jim Crow style of society.
Yeah, I mean, this is like, I saw Hassan reacting to this specific part and saying, I don't remember him talking like this about Israel when he was there, and I'm just really hoping somebody who isn't me will dig up what he had to say then. Yeah, I mean, which is actually, I have to say, that is a mark of societal, cultural progress. Because there was a time where I mean, there's a time in Germany. There still is a time where you have these like fucking allegedly leftist, pro-Israel dickheads, anti-Deutsche und so. Oh well, I play chess on my other streams sometimes. At the moment, I'm not because apparently my subscription lapsed, so like I can't play Puzzle Rush as much as I used to. But okay, yeah. Where are you joining us from? Just out of curiosity. I'm just always interested. Don't have to say if you don't want to. I'm a curious person by nature.
I can't wait to show you guys.
Like, if you go back to the 70s and like 60s in particular, DR, La República Dominicana, oder die DDR, die Deutsche Demokratische Republik, ja, auch so ein Staat, der Bye-Bye gemacht hat. Like, you go back to the 60s and 70s, there were plenty of leftists who would stand Israel because of, like, the kibbutzim and all that shit. And, you know, supposedly it was all socialist, and the Palestinians couldn't really get a word in edgewise because nobody was going to publish them, for the most part. And it was just a lot harder to get through the fucking media bubble in those days. Which is part of why people actually think that the media were... So, the media were so much more reliable back in the day because there just weren't as many people in a position to give a counterpoint. Tengo que decir que la señalética callejera de la República Dominicana existe para confundir a los jugadores de GeoGuessr. Porque es como medio centroamericana, medio sudamericana. La arquitectura dice Sudamérica, pero luego la señalética dice alto en vez de pare, creo. Oh, I can tell you why. Raven G, you're on YouTube, and AKA Warwick 3000 and Hogsnout are on Twitch. I'm ambi streaming.
We fired a really good guy that a lot of people are pissed about.
So Ethan is having this back and forth with his liberal audience, leftist people online, progressive content creators, Hassan, all of these different people. He's finding new people every day, basically, to get in fights with.
Of all people, this guy, Matt Lieb, Frogan.
Oh, holy shit. I did not hear about this. I have to say, the part of Latin America I keep up on is really much farther south. It's like Chile and Argentina. And to a certain extent Peru, because that's where I know people, that's where I've spent time. I do not know anything about what's going on in the República Dominicana, except that I seem to remember hearing that they don't treat Haitians very well, which is something they have in common with the United States, of course. Yeah, I mean, it is confusing as hell if you don't know what the Dominican Republic looks like and you get it in GeoGuessr, because it's like, half of it's giving Mexico, then it's giving Peru. Well, Shakespeare! Chucha, los hispanoparlantes están por todos lados,
And denims and all these dipshits. And everybody thinks this guy's awesome, apparently. Even though he looks like Milhouse. Fucking dork. Denims, by the way, was the real...
Who was that dude that looks like Milhouse?
Villain of the video. Evil, hateful fucking... And I'll say it and I'll double down on it. And people... Oh, no?
No,
not go there.
And it's all culminated, at least for my story, in Ethan burning bridges with people until...
Bueno, la patria de Trujillo. Otra de las weas que sé de la República Dominicana. O sea, bueno, incluso cuando aceptaron a refugiados judíos de Europa durante la guerra, fue por motivos totalmente racistas. O sea que el fascismo, como dijo Allende, estuvo hace muchas horas presente en esa wea.
He burned the bridge with me. Since Ethan and Hassan's falling out, I've been keeping to myself mostly. I don't have many nice things to say. Maybe if Ethan's able to...
I don't have many nice things to say about Ethan either.
Some help, maybe if he stops harassing other creators, maybe if he does these things, eventually he'll find peace and we can like rekindle our friendship. So that's been my approach. I've occasionally thrown a joke Ethan's way in the form of Hassan Piker versus Ethan Klein for boxing.
I like Idubbz. He's a good guy, but I don't like this stupid.
Creator Class 3 needs a headline fight. Let me see. Ethan Klein versus Hassan Piker, Hassan Abi versus H3 Productions. Something Naish versus Hank Pecker. The Don't Worry podcast. Okay. Oh, wow. H3 sucks so bad that people in Lebanon, with all the shit that they've got going on at the moment, between fucking HTS attacking them and Israel occupying them, that this is on their, that fucking Ethan Klein is on their radar too. Jesus.
It's not a fucking petty beef. It's like, this guy is evil and he's doing anti-Semitism. And also he's way out of my weight class.
He didn't like that, but fucking sometimes you gotta just throw something out there. I used to work with this video editor named Froggy Tonic. I discovered him because he was in the circles online that I was in. And one of those circles is an H3 fan. He watched Ethan's content, he liked Ethan's content, until he didn't like Ethan's content. There would be an occasional Froggy tweet where I'd be like, I agree.
Do you really think putting yourself, your crew, and your audience in a semantic competition over a petty year-old I'm right, you're wrong obsession you cannot get over is the right strategy? Stop tormenting yourself, man. Listen to Hassan. I mean...
with that, you know? Like, I'm not gonna endorse it, I'm not gonna retweet it or like it, but fair enough.
I guess I just missed my old friend. Some wings or two birds.
Maybe, you know how everybody, there's this whole meme going around that with J.K. Rowling, it's the black mold talking? Maybe with Ethan, it's the Jardia talking. Maybe the Jardia has taken him over, and it turns out Jardia is like fucking liberal Zionist diarrhea.
Feathered, colored.
Now that brings us to February 28th of this year. Now, my former editor of a year and a half ago did say some truly mean shit. He called Hila the C word. He said they're trying to kill their dog with cheddar cheese and a bunch of...
They're trying to kill their dog with cheddar cheese.
other shit, I'm sure. Ethan, at some point, discovers that Idubbz's former editor says this horrendous shit about him and Hila. But no one's asking the question, where does Ethan get this information from? You see...
Oh, I mean, also, like, saying bad things about Hila? How could anyone, really? I mean, she's just so... She thinks Yoav Galant is a good guy. How could anyone say anything bad about that?
It would be very obviously a problem if Ethan was discovering this content by scrolling through Twitter looking for something to upset himself with. He has maybe set it up in such a way where his employees feel the need to send him this information. And that would be horrible. They shouldn't be doing that.
I mean, actually, his employees, I would have to say... In fact, I said that one of his employees posted something on Twitter, and somebody, like, posted into the thread, and I saw it in my feed, so I got in there, and it was like... Yeah, somebody was pointing out, like, the latest fucking horror that Israel and the U.S. have done in Gaza or something like that. And I was like... And, I don't know, I figured... why not? I said, you should just bring this up with him on live on stream and just, like, let him fucking say what he has to say about that. I don't think that happened.
Things that are entertaining for your show that don't fucking trigger the hell out of you. Why is there so much work being put into discovering this guy on Twitter who's barely getting any interactions, linking him to me and posting on the Reddit when there's no work being put into...
Dressed like Pootie Tang.
Who the fuck is the person on the Reddit who's posting this in the first place? If you do a little bit of research, it seems like it's an account whose intention is to make Ethan crash out. One of the users...
I mean, It seems to me that Ethan is crashing himself out. I mean, he could take the right fucking position. He could stand for the right thing. It is not hard to see what the right thing is right now when we're talking about fucking Israel and shit. Because the right thing, if anyone needs a fucking guide, if you see people who are, like, setting up snipers to shoot at fucking little kids and flex their marksmanship by hitting the smallest bits of them, the right side of history is whoever is trying to make that stop, actually. Like, that shouldn't be hard. And I think Ethan would make himself much happier, although he would probably lose a whole shitload of money and possibly a marriage, if he wasn't trying to square the fact that he knows that he's taking positions that he clearly, on some level, knows are the wrong positions to be taking on this.
On the Snark Reddit points this out. They're like, I've seen this account before. This account has scraped its history, and it's now trying to make Ethan burn bridges. This is within Ethan's own community. Like, this is the thing that he needs to be critical of. It's not me. So yes, I am willing to admit that my former editor was being very nasty, uncharitable, and fucked up towards Ethan and Hila on Twitter. But Ethan and Hila are doing the same shit on their podcast. So I don't want to fucking hear it.
Terror support.
Pedophile.
I mean,
I'm going to watch and...
Not to mention, like, sicking lawyers on people.
Respond to the 2 podcast streams where Ethan and Hila call us spineless cowards.
Anyway, this guy was saying shit like that Hila's
Oh, well. Entonces, bueno. Que se sirva la justicia, entonces. Bueno.
Nazi, that she kills kids, that she went on like she's a IDF baby killer, all this types of shit, and that's showing up right up on us Nisa's and Idubbz feed. My good fucking friends who I stood by after all these fucking years can't find a spine to speak up. You know why?
Because what you're saying sucks, and they know that what you're saying sucks, and they don't want to smear your shite all over them because they don't want to get Jardia.
They'll get murdered.
You don't know what's on my feed. What the fuck is happening? For all you know, I only use the For You tab. For all you know, I only use...
Oh God, nobody... You never use the For You tab. If anyone needs this advice, the For You tab is there to make you question whether you are in hell. It is always the worst, like, just fucked up Nazi bullshit. Stay away from the For You tab.
You know, I'm seeing these things tweeted out by my editor of a year and a half ago and saying, God, that is nasty. I'm just not going to throw someone away because they're having a parasocial weird moment. Just like I'm not going to throw Ethan Klein away because he's having a parasocial weird crash out.
I mean, I wouldn't call this a parasocial weird crash out, though. I mean, there is an aspect of parasociality. There is certainly an aspect of fucking weirdness in this. I'm not denying that. But on the other hand, there's also simply the fact that he's promoting racist propaganda in the middle of a genocide. He has a huge fucking platform. He could do good with it. And instead, he is engaging in apologetics for a genocidal regime. I mean, that goes beyond weird parasocial crash out and is into just... like, fucking objectively evil.
How many women I fucked? Hassan, by the way, thousands. Yeah, thousands. Let me ask Galia. These shoes do not go. I'm sorry. Oh my God. Hassan's the type of dude who watches himself in the mirror when he has sex.
Watching me on a 30-second delay on your stream.
Wait, how does he know I'm watching already?
Because you're fucking obsessed and it's not even hard to see.
Because you've been talking about it for the last 5 minutes.
It's not a fucking petty beef. It's like, this guy is evil and he's doing anti-Semitism. These shoes do not go.
Wait. You don't get to call people evil when you're fucking defending Israel in the middle of this shit. Like, it was clear that was the wrong side of history before this shit. But now it's like, even people who otherwise did not somehow manage not to realize that are looking at it and are horrified. If you're like still trying to find some way to make like a liberal defense of what Israel's doing, Like, fuck you, actually. I mean, there's really nothing more to say.
I'm sorry. There are many people, I'm sure, who have unfollowed you for the things that you've said and done, and I'm sure there are even more people who have stayed following you because they don't want to throw the baby out with the bathwater.
Yeah, because Gila might shoot it.
They don't want to throw someone away because they've had some hard moments. We're all fucking human.
My good fucking friends who I stood by after all these fucking years can't find a spine to speak up. You know why?
Why don't... Okay. Why... What's with the salt? I mean, we know this motherfucker is salty as fuck. Did he need to add salt?
Get murdered. And what you're saying to me is that I'm a bad friend and I'm a piece of shit. I'm spineless. I'm cowardly because I am following someone on Twitter.
Because they have mobilized such an insane harassment group. It's not bad enough that I have this group of people harassing me and everyone in my life. It's that people outside of this group, journalists, creators, are actively participating in this.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. It's like when you say fucked up shit in the public sphere, people who never heard of you suddenly are talking about what fucked up shit you're saying. And when you then double down and like send lawyers after people for pointing out how fucked up the shit you're saying is, even more people start taking an interest in talking about it. Like, motherfucker, you created this fucking spiral for yourself.
Gaslighting to make it seem like I'm fucking crazy.
I mean, I don't know what he's getting at here. Like, yeah, people are gaslighting you. A lot of people gaslit me when I apologized. That was actually like...
I don't even know what gaslighting means in this context. I haven't seen anyone gaslighting Ethan.
One type of harassment I got was people gaslighting me and taking my newfound woke...
Perpetuate stereotypes of woodland squirrels. Wow, this is just Squirrel Day, Riveroon. First you with the squirrels, and now Idubbz has got squirrels. It's just Squirrel Day.
Theology
I love
to
squirrels.
its extreme.
I probably done and stood by Idubbz and Anissa more than anybody. I've stood by them when all the internet hated them.
I don't like that Ethan brought this up because it makes the relationship feel very transactional.
Yeah, and the thing is, it's like... Okay, so he stood by Idubbz when Idubbz actually was like, I guess Riveroon, you know more about this guy than I do. I know nothing about him. I'm like going entirely based on what you've said. But like when he was trying to make amends for the really fucked up bullshit that he had been saying for quite some time, and Ethan here is like trying to say that is the same thing as Ethan saying a bunch of fucked up bullshit in the first place?
Like, you know, we're just meant to support each other online despite our own personal morals or principles.
But I'll say this, I don't think they're fucking any friends of mine. And certainly I don't think they're any fucking friends of mine based on the text conversation I had with them too before I even talked about it. So I have nothing.
The only friends he has in the world are Gila and Jardia.
Like, I don't need any fucking halfway friends, man.
I thought the text conversation that I had with him was very empathetic. I basically just said, like, I know you and Hila are experiencing a ton of harassment, and I essentially empathize.
Which is already, like, wild in the sense that it's giving them so much benefit of the doubt that they don't deserve because they, like, they're saying just, like, genocidal racist shit on the internet. People have a right to be pissed off about that and to criticize them. Like, as Thought Slime once said in one of the collabs with the Surfs when they were watching Tim Pool, he goes, they seem confused by the fact that people don't congratulate you on your disagreement. Like, you don't walk down the street and people go, hey, that thing you said really fucking sucked, man. Get high five. Congratulations for saying something that sucked. Like, I mean...
with that, and I think there's something positive to get out of the conversation. But he refused to talk on the phone unless I was willing to publicly say something.
OF as in OnlyFans?
Something about my former editor and denims. As much as you don't want halfway friends, I also don't want that kind of halfway friend. I don't want someone who's going to give me like an ultimatum.
Okay, halfway friend just reminds me of a medieval Spanish short story that seems to be the origin of, like, a friend will help you move, your best friend will help you move a body. So there's this whole story, like, el cuento del medio amigo, where this guy kills somebody, and he's in a bit of bother because he doesn't know what to do with the body, and his medio amigo, his halfway friend, just kind of ghosts him and says, yeah, good luck with that. But his true friend helps dig the hole, or something like that. It's been a long time since I read it.
To have a conversation.
Could you not say something when this is like, imagine like one of you guys is like, Hassan actually wants to go to Gaza so he can strangle Israeli babies. Or some shit like that. I'd be like,
why would you go to Gaza to strangle Israeli babies? They're not in Gaza.
Imagine me not saying something.
You're trying to make a one-to-one comparison where there isn't one.
Yeah.
This guy that I follow on Twitter is not in the same relationship as you and one of your current employees who is streaming with you 3 days a week, 3 hours a day for the past 10 years. At one point during the stream, Ethan and Hila bring up Adam McIntyre. Now, Adam does basically the same thing as my former editor. He's critical of Ethan and Hila, and he is sometimes uncharitable and nasty towards them.
Adam McIntyre needs to just like disappear. That guy is a piece of shit, like of the lowest order.
Unlike Yoav Galant, who she says is one of the good guys. You know, I mean, I just have to say, like, when we watch her boo somebody, we have to remember who she applauds.
I never even stood by him when he talked bad about Trisha having a kid and called him like the spawn of Satan. He was supposedly on our side. I would never even co-sign that. I was disgusted by that statement too. I remember when he called her kid the spawn of Satan.
I never said anything.
And I was supposed to be like cheering on, but I wasn't gonna cheer that on. That's disgusting.
Why do you forget that he called her children, which is something we would never do, the spawn of Satan?
It's disgusting.
And I mean,
Piece of shit of
it's just incredible who ends up being the good guys in the story, you know, it's really something.
Unfortunately, they never made a statement. They never said that they disagree with his statements about Trisha's baby until
like they disagree. What so they're saying actually, to our knowledge, this child is not the spawn of Satan. Like, what are you supposed to say there?
was useful. Like, what is it, 3 years later? Like, I mean, you're talking about it like you were aware of it at the time, and that there was some amount of pressure or enthusiasm for you to get down with.
I mean,
that.
once again, I should note, they're talking about people I've never heard of. I don't even know who Trisha is. I don't know, like, why somebody would call their kid the spawn of Satan. Just a weird thing to find myself saying. But... oh! Trisha said her baby would be Queen Elizabeth reincarnate. Oh, okay. Yeah, okay, that's fair then. That isn't even like slagging off Trisha so much as slagging off the fucking monarchy. And I'm there for that. Fuck the monarchy. Chucky our law.
That you did see it at the time, and you were like, ooh, I don't like that. And you didn't endorse it, and you didn't fuck with it. Huh. It's almost like that is a fucking identical situation.
I mean, now I said Chucky our law. I mean, if Ethan ever, like, goes further down this rabbit hole, far enough down, he would, like, need, I think, oxygen gear to go far enough down to find me. And then it'll be like, oh, and Elise over at the fucking... The Untitled Anarchist Seagull channel, she's in the IRA.
It's just incredible who ends up being the good guys in this story, you know, it's really something.
So yeah, the reason I'm bringing this up is because they're trying to like paint themselves as the good guys, and they're saying like, yeah, we strongly disavow things that are said, even about our enemies. We are the most immoral people on the internet.
Yes, the most moral podcast.
Unlike Ian and Anissa, who are fucking keeping to themselves. Also, why the fuck does Olivia get the pass?
What a fucking asshole for putting you in that position, Olivia. You're friends with him.
Who's Olivia? Like, okay.
And you don't have to say anything, but like, what a...
There's a whole fucking universe of people around fucking Ethan that I have never heard of.
Fucking piece of shit. What a bad friend to put you in...
Chad, fill me in here. And what are your theories, Chad, on why he has a fucking canister of Morton's iodized salt sitting next to him? Refusing to join the military is socialist. I mean... What? I mean, I would say, honestly, let me put it this way. It's like, I would say refusing to join the U.S. military would be something I would consider sort of a prerequisite in order to consider somebody like a legit socialist. Or refusing or actually regretting having joined and leaving at the first opportunity or whatever. You know. But, I mean, that doesn't make you socialist. That's not how that works.
That position just for some fucking clout. It gets people angry at you, like, oh, how could she be friends with him? Which is total bullshit, okay? Olivia did not do anything. And
I want the pass. Do I have to be an employee to get that treatment? Because then you'll just see me as an ally? Or is it because Ethan's afraid of wrongful termination accusations?
I mean, he is getting sued by his fucking housekeeper or his governess. I forget which one.
Lawsuits?
And also, I don't mind putting my friend Olivia, who's apparently my real friend, in a terribly weird, fucking uncomfortable situation where you end up.
Oh, right, yes. Oh, yeah, now I remember what you're talking about, Raven G. Yeah, that was wild, because Hassan was literally born in New Jersey. Like, he was acting like Hassan was... he basically just got every single thing about Hassan's biography wrong. And then suggested he should have joined the Turkish military. So apparently Ethan not only has a hard-on for Palestinians, he's got one for Kurds too, I guess?
Getting hate for no reason.
Also, don't frame it as, like, other people making it hard on Olivia. You're making it hard on
Thank you for reminding me.
Please acknowledge your role in this whole fucking thing. Like, it's crazy how warm Ethan is to Olivia and saying how Olivia is essentially just a victim in this whole thing.
It gets people angry at you, like, oh, how could you...
I mean, the fact that that picture is his staff... That really says everything about the algorithm right there. That this fucking slop streamer, who has like an N-word compilation that is between 10 and 20 minutes long, which is a thing to know about a person. Oh, well, I mean, I have to say, shirtless bathroom... I can think of worse shirtless bathtub images to be subjected to.
Friends with him, which is total bullshit.
But me and Anissa are spineless. Ethan, your whole system is scrambled. My intention isn't to throw the employees under the bus. Like, you guys serve as the fucking foundation for calling out Ethan's hypocrisy on the whole subject. And I know that you guys have probably pushed back against Ethan over the years. How often are you supposed to do that? Do you have to do that every fucking week? It kind of seems like it. And that's exhausting. I don't want to confront my boss. It's not my fucking job to confront my boss and say, today's segment on rapists and pedophiles on Twitch was not like my favorite segment to be a part of.
Yeah, friends like these.
Oh yeah, and our other good friends.
Yeah.
Anissa and Ian. Thanks, Anissa, for standing up for your girl. I actually stood up for you so many times. It's like, why would I not? It was crazy.
Yeah, why not? I mean, if that's truly what you believed and you weren't just going to use it later.
Of course I was going to stand by you. That's insane. It's absolutely insane and disgusting. But now you choose to hang out with people that would have a problem with you if you defended me.
I'm not going to assume
well, I mean,
anyone knows, but I'll...
So she's improving the quality of her circle of friends, is what you're saying.
I'll say it for anyone who doesn't know. Anissa is half Lebanese and half Irish. For anyone unfamiliar, the Irish have been on the receiving end of a lot of oppression and genocide. On the part of the Lebanese, they've received a lot of oppression and attacks from the IDF. So,
and the U.S. and France, and now like fucking HT ISIS.
Is very well familiar with the propaganda and the shit coming out of Israel. Choosing now, out of all the times, to be like, please defend me. No.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, Israel is fucking occupying Lebanon. They have they murdered thousands of Lebanese people. This is not the time for somebody who is like ex-IDF and is not deeply ashamed of being ex-IDF to be expecting defense from fucking Lebanon.
We're not gonna fucking defend you.
Rudy was saying that Palestinians are taught at 2 years old to kill Americans. Do we have that one?
Man, like the other day, BB fired a really good guy that a lot of people are pissed about.
Here we go. This is how she applauds.
He looked mean. I thought he was mean just because he looked mean.
No.
Yeah, I mean, he is. He fucking is. Now, I mean, this is an interesting segment here. Because this really kind of suggests that Ethan really does not know shit about any of this. And just defers to her on the subject.
So yes, you caught us. We're not going to run to your defense when, I don't know, we follow people. We be following. That's one fucked up thing that you can say about Anissa and I is when we're on Twitter, we do be following.
So,
the problem?
Okay, if you want to hang out with those people and have no spine and not stand up for another girl that stood up for you, enjoy your new friends.
She's friends with people like that.
I know.
No, yeah. So again, that just demonstrates an improvement in overall taste.
Yeah.
Which also Denims is actually participating in this.
Over half their current and former employees follow Denims. And I mean, what's wild about this is that they have enough fucking employees that you can actually quantify that. Like, how much fucking money do they have?
Child Protective Service Live.
Yeah,
which
but
I'll
if
show you
you're
guys.
friends with them, then you're seeing what they're saying.
You'll notice that Ethan and Hila start talking about this Denim's character. Originally, the complaint was about my former editor. He's been chatting shit about Ethan and Hila for the past year at least. They only care about it now because I guess it was spoon-fed to them via the Reddit. It's clearly looking out for them. Not much sugarcoat it. We're friends with Denims, but I would say it's the same level of friendship that we had with Ethan and Hila. It's like kind of internet friendship. We think that she's a good person, like we think Ethan and Hila are good people. Kind of a tricky situation.
I mean, I have to say, if I were Denims, I would be a bit offended by the comparison at this point.
How can you possibly think that they're both good people at their core? People can have crash out moments. People can say things that they don't mean.
Yeah, they're crash out moments, and then there's like spreading genocidal propaganda.
People can say things because they want internet clout and attention.
Like that would actually make it worse, as far as I'm concerned. It would actually make it worse. Well, I mean, I would consider Hassan definitely is. I mean, he's on the very low end of the rich spectrum, but the motherfucker clearly has some money. I mean, from what I've heard. But, like, if the reason you're spreading genocidal fucking propaganda is just because you're crashing out and you're, like, doing it for clout or something, that's worse. That is so much fucking worse.
I think they're both probably guilty of saying things they don't mean for internet clout and attention. Right now, one's a little bit more fucking nasty to me than the other.
I just don't see how you can be my friend and also be friends with
no.
Like, I mean, if you wanted internet clout and you were like talking political stuff, I mean, the way you actually can do that is by taking whatever the official like mainstream line is. That I mean, you will do so much. You will make so much more fucking money. That is why so many like content creators. There's so many like completely talentless hacks in the right-wing content sphere, because the money will just fly at you. They don't give a shit if you're any good at anything. You don't have to know anything. Mouth some talking points, say some slurs, and that's it. Like, if you're chasing clout, with the algorithm being what it is and the media propaganda ecosystem being what it is, you would not be taking the anti-genocide stance.
Well, you can't. So I already forgot about you.
I actually have a lot of friendships that are kind of that way, where it's like, you know, one of the friends doesn't fuck with the other friend, but there is someone in the middle who kind of fucks with both of them.
Wait. I don't know who the guy in the middle is, but...
Separately?
Is he suggesting that there's 1 degree of separation between fucking Ethan Klein and Andrew Tato?
Yeah, there's a lot of friendships that are like that. I'm not gonna make you guys like meet up and kiss or anything. I get it. You guys are in fucking... You're either my best friend who's deep-throating me to the base of my cock, or you are Satan. You're the devil.
The last thing I said to Anissa, we were texting before I ever talked about it. She's like, I don't care about this guy. He's a nobody, and, you know, blah, blah, blah. And I said, well, then you'll have
I mean, the more I hear him, like, sniffing like that, as this, like, fucking genocidal crash out continues, the more I start to wonder, like, is that really salt? Is he doing lines of salt and he thinks it's Coke, maybe? Is he doing lines of Coke and he thinks it's salt?
have no problem publicly denouncing it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then from there, the conversation ended.
She never replied.
Ethan, you can't even phrase it in a way that doesn't make you sound like you're being coercive and shitty. Well then, you should have no problem publicly denouncing it, right? Does that sound like a friend? It kind of sounds like something a powerful villain would say.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. The people who are cheapening anti-Semitism, one of the things, if you pay really close attention to a lot of them, the people who are, like, really cheapening the hell out of anti-Semitism to the point where when somebody says something anti-Semitic happened, yeah, I mean, the only position to take is a certain amount of skepticism, like, okay, is this going to be actual anti-Semitism or did somebody just say fuck Israel? But a lot of the people who are, like, using anti-Semitism as a schmata like that are also really fucking anti-Semitic and have a vested interest in devaluing the term anti-Semitism. Salt water to drip in your nose if it was backed up? Oh, wow. Very interesting. I did not know about this lore. I mean, I knew about saline for, like, nasal congestion.
But it was so funny how she immediately went to comment everywhere, like on our subreddit. She immediately had to comment like, "Oh, he doesn't work with us anymore." But that was it. That's all she said.
But then say that you don't.
Okay. Do you have anything else to say for your friends?
One of the reasons Anissa was so quick to clarify things in your Reddit is because your Reddit was already talking about who this editor is, and they were spreading misinformation that it was our co-host on our podcast, Uncle Dane. So yeah, the last thing we wanted is this guy getting pulled into this mess.
Like, okay, now we're back to people I've never heard of.
And you guys don't give a fuck. Would it have been nicer and more supportive to say, we don't agree with the things he's saying and we support Ethan and Hila? Sure. Like, yeah, that would have been a nicer thing to say.
Well, this is why nice sucks.
For silence means...
Nice is bullshit. I put absolutely no stock in nice. There are plenty of nice motherfuckers who are just absolute scumbags. Nice does not mean shit.
Something. It means that we would like to pause this relationship until you figure your shit out. And then maybe we can find a moment in time, I don't know how long it'll be, but a moment in time in the future where things are a little bit easier to broach. I don't think we need to...
Well, how do you broach the bit where... Hey, dude, like, you remember you were having a really rough time and you decided to do propaganda in support of a genocide and sue people who pointed it out? Well, that was fucked up. Pass the joint, would you? Like, I don't see how you broach that. Like, to me, there are things there's no coming back from. I don't see coming back from this because it's not a situation where somebody can legit say that they didn't know. There has never been a situation like this where it was less plausible for somebody to say they didn't know what they were doing.
Do it right now. But you've insisted that this is an important thing to address. I would have been perfectly fine with you not blasting me on your Instagram story. I would have been perfectly fine with you not blasting me and my wife on your podcast twice. I would be fine with you not brigading my comment section on my podcast that gets 3,000 views a week because I prefer to not to do harassment campaigns and instead talk about Vampire's Kiss.
At least say something like, he doesn't work for me, and I strongly disagree, and I support Ethan and Ila. The problem is
that...
See... I feel like Idubbz is depoliticizing this to a degree, because there is a personal aspect to this, yeah, I mean, there is, like, the personal crash out aspect of it, but this is also, like, I mean, this is very much a political thing, like, this is not just, like, interpersonal drama, but I will still say, I absolutely stan Idubbz's shirt game, especially over whatever the fuck Ethan's wearing there.
But she doesn't.
That's the problem.
That's the problem.
Like, what the hell is that? That is a fucking monstrosity.
She actually...
She thinks they have a point.
That's the problem.
Yeah, so go fuck yourself.
I agree.
Go fuck yourself? What about your girl? This is what I'm talking about. This aggression that you're putting out into the world. What the fuck do you think we're gonna do? You think I'm gonna fucking sit on my hands when you do this shit? Like, this is nasty. We had such a fair response to what you guys were going through. We don't support harassment. It's a bad thing, but it happens, and you're perpetuating it.
You fucking propagandist, lying scumbag, terrorist supporter.
Like, seriously, fuck off.
He probably sets up a mirror and jerks off watching himself. Dan KKK Clancy has a similar view of Hitler. Because Dan Clancy, the Nazi, fucking anti-Semite.
You can't expect...
I'm not familiar with Dan Clancy either. Chat. Anyone got Dan Clancy covered? There are so many fucking names I have never heard.
Other people to stop harassing you if you continue to...
They're like, basically when it comes to internet content creators, there are like 3 types that I know about. One is like communists on the internet. The other is fash on the internet. And then there is the like internet content creators who follow me. Oh, CEO of Twitch, fucking hell. Thank you for that. See, there are things I'm actually very well informed about. That is not one of them. And then there's a whole universe of content creators I don't even fucking watch. Like, I mean, like the most apolitical thing I watch is on YouTube, other than cookery content, is like Prim's Hood Cinema. And even that is actually, I mean, that is comedy, but it does get kind of politicized as well. So there is like a whole universe of content creators. Well, I forgot chess. Okay, chess creators. I follow them. Them I know about. But then there's just a universe of people I've never fucking heard of.
Harass people. Let's think about it on a micro level. Have you ever been in a comment section and found someone to argue with? It doesn't stop. It can literally go on forever if you don't want to touch
Love who?
grass.
I mean, yeah, this was kind of like a line, what happened today, that should never be crossed, even by like the most cynical, toxic people. It's going to have ramifications in terms of how...
He has all this staff, and he can't set it up to frame him so the rule of thirds is observed. Like, you can get... Dude, you move the camera up a little bit and back a little bit, and you can get your whole head in frame. Like, what even is this? What even is this fucking shot?
How I conduct myself in terms of these fair weather friends.
Yeah, I heard about Prim's Hood Cinema from a video FD Signifier did on that movie, Lean On Me, I think it was. And he said Prim's Hood Cinema had a good take on it, and so I watched that, and then I just basically spent that entire night watching Prim's Hood Cinema.
Friends who are...
And, like, reliving movies I watched in the fucking 90s.
so happy to be friends as long as they're getting something out of it.
Ethan, that is a rich thing to say.
Warwick, I would agree. As somebody who doesn't know who most of the people they keep bringing up are, it's confusing. My other major criticism is it's like, so far, and I mean, River Runes, I assume, has actually seen the whole thing. So maybe River Rune and the squirrels and ferrets and the wonderful woodland creatures that surround River Rune could fill. River Rune is surrounded by woodland creatures in my imagination, because that's like one of the things that River's always talking about. And I'm there for it. But maybe the political dimension of this does get discussed at some point, but it's like that to me that ought to be more central, because this is like, I mean, yeah, it's a personal crash out. There's a lot of interpersonal bullshit going on. True, but it's also like there's a genocide, and he's put himself so firmly on the wrong side of it.
Like, you're the H3 podcast, okay? There's a lot of friends of the show. There's even more Fairweather friends of the show. Let's not get into this shit, okay? That is so bizarre and insulting to suggest that I was only ever being friends with you to get something out of it. No, I'm friendly with you, and I'd say I'm a light friend because it's been pleasant hanging out with you. I've enjoyed your content over the years. And as of late, it's gotten really fucking shitty.
Yeah, I will agree with. I mean, yeah, it is totally shitty.
Agree.
Who else? Who else do we want to burn today?
Who else do we want to burn today? You're making it so fucking obvious.
I mean, that's a really ominous thing for somebody who was in the fucking Israeli military to be saying. Yeah. I mean, and it's like, I can get the intervention aspect of it, but it's also just, but it seems to me there are like two aspects of it. It's like, yeah, he's fucking up on all sorts of levels, very clearly, but there's also, like, there's a big fucking elephant in the room here that also needs to be talked about. Like, if he ends up, like, somehow being cool with all these people and, like, apologizing for the shittiness, and he's still on, like, on Team Genocide, like, still, fuck him.
This is your emotional dumping ground. It's horrible. This is not what podcasts are. There was a way to approach this.
How is it? Wait a second. I thought that is what podcasts were. I thought that podcasts were mostly where, like, dudes would just sort of, you know, fucking random neural, voice their random neural firings for several hours and be like, yeah, so I was in the queue at Sainsbury's the other day, man. And you know how they got the Butterfingers there in the impulse buy section? Yeah, they had the Butterfingers there in the impulse buy section, and like 3 hours later, they're still talking about this shit. I thought that literally was what podcasts were, with certain exceptions that I quite like. Citations Needed podcast, absolutely one, definitely worth listening to. And Death Panel podcast absolutely rocks as well. But most podcasts, it just seems like it's some fucking bullshit.
Yeah, we feel hurt.
Oh, we got ourselves a link spammer. Fuck off, link spammer. Andate a la concha de tu madre, weón. Ciao.
By not saying something, you've decided to do the extra thing and attack. Now, in fairness, I am attacking back, but I feel very insulted, and I feel defensive, and I feel like I am speaking up for a lot of people who have...
It's like, I feel like he knows... I think he knows he's on the wrong side, because he makes the point of claiming to be pro-Palestinian at the same time as he's saying this shit. Which makes me think he absolutely knows what the right side of this is. Singar, o sea que singar es tirarse en dominicano. Interesante.
Problems.
Não sei. Ethan não está a reagir. Ethan é o reagido. Idubbz está a reagir a Ethan.
And a lot of people who have been on the receiving end of your harassment.
It's so easy to be anti-racist. Everybody's anti-racist.
Oh, wait, is he about to say that actually the real challenge is just being really fucking racist?
Racism is the worst thing in the world, right? We fucking hate races. Fuck races.
Microaggressions.
The minute that they actually have to stick their neck out for somebody, the minute they have to actually risk something.
Wait, so the idea is it's easy to be against racism, but it's much harder to, like, be for racism when Ethan is being racist.
To put themselves in under scrutiny, to sacrifice something personally to stand up for racism, then all of a sudden it's like, hey, I don't want to get involved.
And that's drama.
How much do you care?
I don't do drama.
How much do you actually care? Isn't that the whole point? Like,
I realize that Ethan and Hila are more scared.
Yeah, I mean, that's Hila at the fucking checkpoint at Calandia. You know, you got somebody trying to get to see your family at the hospital or something like. He's like, shut the fuck up! I don't do drama. You're just gonna have to wait 3 weeks and come back.
Now than they've probably ever been. I feel like anti-Semitism is a thought in their heads now more than ever, and it's not completely unjustified to be thinking about that sometimes. You guys are just hurt, and you're kind of like dancing.
Toto. In Chile, there are various names. One is Concha, which is also very common in Peru and Argentina. But then there's also Sapo, which is really weird because Sapo, which literally means toad, also means like a snitch. Like somebody who is like snitching on you to the cops is a Sapo, but it's also La Concha.
Around and making very like loose, poorly thought out analogies for something that doesn't even apply to us. It's like me making this video is the standing up for something, and it's saying fuck you. You guys are being bad. You know, I don't think you're bad people, but you're being.
They must have loved Wizard of Oz in the Dominican Republic. With like Dorothy's dog being named Toto and everything.
Being bad. You're behaving poorly. You're hurting people.
I mean, go back to the civil rights. You think that the people who were like the white kids who were protesting with the black students, you think that they were just like not risking anything? Those kids who were marching with the black students and...
So in Ethan's analogy...
Wait, is Ethan saying that he's like the civil rights protesters? Like, what?
He's the black student, and I'm the white student, but I'm the white student that's not, marching by his side. I'm not doing the difficult thing. You're gonna have to march on your own, black student.
Marching with the black students and...
I mean, why is it inspiring? Why is it inspiring?
Well, and it's the same thing.
Like, what the fuck?
Just because, but
well,
it's the same thing. Like, I was thinking about going to Gaza.
Yeah.
Until I found out it's dangerous.
Well, like, also, there's literally no way to go to Gaza. The IDF will not let you in. You can't just go in there. Like, how are you gonna get in? All the crossings are closed. Like, what, are you gonna fucking parachute in? I mean, it is literally impossible to go there. And if you got in there, like, I mean, it's not just that it's dangerous. There's no food. There's bombs being dropped on you from all directions. You, like...
He's a total performative activist that doesn't give a single fuck about the cause.
Wait, what cause, motherfucker? ¿Qué causa? Weón. El weón se cree realmente... Este weón se cree como... No sé. No tengo ni idea. No tengo analogía para esta situación, po. It's like, there's the most ridiculous fucking... How, in what world is Ethan a civil rights protester here?
Performed exquisitely, harassing one person and seamlessly transitioning into harassing another one. If anyone's been watching for the past fucking year, I'm pretty sure they have a good idea of your feelings about Hassan.
Like, people like Anissa are the perfect example because she's friends with these people. She's friends with Denims. Denims is streaming this story about our kid getting Giarda from the dog, whatever.
I'm sorry. I'll accept this take, this position.
Oh, yeah. So, yeah, I mean, that's the thing. Okay, so they were trying to enter through Rafah during... This is is this during the humanitarian pause? Or is this the ceasefire, like, that started in January? Because, of course, the reason it didn't work out in the case of the, like, ceasefire that started in January is because Israel and the U.S. never allowed the Rafah crossing to be opened. I mean, people were, like, demanding that because Israel actually committed to that in the ceasefire deal, but they never allowed it. There was tons of fucking aid just backed up, waiting for the moment when they can just go in there.
From anyone except you guys. You have laid the groundwork for this type of...
Ethancito tiene dos ollitas, una chiquitita, otra grandecita.
Streaming, which is watching people's shit and giving your unfiltered reaction to it. Why would you expect Anissa, of all people, to say something to Denims? Okay, so by that logic, we should be saying shit to you guys all the time. But I have a feeling...
Yeah, Raven, very true. Like, literally, Israel has never once abided by a ceasefire. And Israel actually admits that the Palestinian resistance does. Speaking of invites, let me get you an invite to the Discord, since we have some new people. It is the Discord where you can keep in touch between streams, since we are sort of closing in on it. Invite people. Ah, hell. It's doing the thing where it says... no. I can't get it to generate the link for the Discord, damn it. This is really annoying that Discord does this. Oh, thank you, River. Very helpful as always. Thank you so much.
I wouldn't like if we said shit like that to you all the time. Yeah, we've been respecting you as independent content creators. You can do what you want. We'll treat you as adults. Maybe we shouldn't have been treating you as adults.
She could say so much, and it would make her a little bit uncomfortable, right? It's not comfortable. She'll get a little bit of shit.
Yeah, just for
but that would be commendable.
Which is kind of, and by the way, it kind of speaks for itself that saying, hey, their house is claimed, they're, they're actually good people, like that's going to get you shit. That kind of says it all, doesn't it?
There isn't a single person that I respect who would give a fuck if I publicly said that Ethan and Hila are great with their kids, Ethan and Hila didn't kill their dog, and Ethan and Hila wipe their asses or don't have giardia or whatever.
I mean, obviously the thing we have to clip here is Ethan and Hila wipe their asses.
The prompt is, no one would care. The only person who would care is me, because I'm like, why did I tweet this out? I'm not tweeting out because I'm...
Yeah, I mean, in fact, that would actually be a worse thing to do. That would not be... That would actually... I mean, in what world would that actually be helping Ethan and Hila?
I'm not your fucking lapdog. That's why I'm not tweeting it out. I'm not saying it to my audience because I don't give a fuck. It's not my business.
That's, in my opinion, doing something that's difficult and standing by your principles. That's the whole point. That's what makes
like standing by your principles, like you, fucking stalwart supporter of the Palestinian cause, who's like, yeah, talking about the Hamas-run health ministry and how you can't believe their casualty figures. Like, conche tu madre, weón.
Standing by your principles.
Este cartone, weón, este.
Admirable is that it's not always easy.
Why are you saying that I'm not standing up for my principles when you don't even know what they are?
Because he doesn't know what principles are. It isn't that he doesn't know what your principles are. He literally does not understand what principles are.
I get, like, we're a little bit past directly naming me, so we might have gone off on a tangent. If you maybe accepted the phone call and we talked about it, you could have asked me, hey, what are your principles? And I can tell you the way I've been behaving is exactly in line with my principles. Now we're going to talk about the BDS list. We're going to start off with Frogan because obviously this is like as bad as it gets. If you're following Frogan, that can only mean that you're anti-Ethan. All this is
I've been hearing about Frogan ever since this whole thing started, and I did not know that was Frogan. So, you know, friends, embarazado. Yeah, that is one of those. I have there was a really hilarious one that was going around in Santiago a few years ago. You know, there are these misionero mormone, these Mormon missionaries down there. And one of them, he had apparently done a quick, like, Spanish course before coming. And he tells this woman, Jesucristo tiene un consolador para usted. Un consolador. I don't know if it's the same in the RD. But un consolador in Chile is not a consoler. It is a dildo. This guy actually told some random woman in Santiago de Chile that Jesus Christ had a dildo for her. And, I mean, the guy became internet famous. But it is now time to wrap up. Thank you so much for joining in, especially thanks to the new people I haven't seen in a bit. Always good to see you. I will be back at 11:30 p.m. U.S. Eastern Time. I have no idea. Are you on, like, is it midnight in the Dominican Republic or is it 1 a.m.? I assume it's one or the other. I don't know what time zone the Dominican Republic is even in. But at 11:30 p.m. U.S. Eastern Time on Friday, and I hope to see you then. Until then, we'll see each other in the Discord. Also Pesach wäre eigentlich eher was für mich, aber danke trotzdem. Have a good evening. Have a good rest of your weekend. And wow, Ethan, shut the fuck up. Okay, so same time as here.